Right.
Okay.
So I'm going now.
Yep. Do you push start? Red. Okay, so the viral breakdown, like I said, giving you a quick view. This is where thought leaders get to just be their real, raw, authentic self, and it's our job to pull out the genius out of you, which you do naturally when you're talking to someone in person, at events, when you speak. But instead of you projecting out, this is where you get to just be, and we pull it out. Okay? So there's no effort as far as an action from you outward. This is just us pulling your real raw genius. So we always start with health first. We're going to cover every topic of your life. And then once we get you a little bit more warmed up, we're going to double down on mastery. Your podcast, your thought leadership, your business. But this is going to cue your brain to warm up. Plus, we want to know every category of your life. This is where we go wide, and then we zone into more of your core pillars of your brand. So this is fun. So we always start off with health. As a business owner, as a woman, as a thought leader, as someone who changes the game, not just in your life, but other people's lives, talk to me about how you view health. What are specific health regimens you do with every founder? Every founder in the world prioritizes health. What are some specifics that you do that allow you to get into flow state, allow you to generate or create more money in the world to make the most? What is your health regimen like?
I have a health regimen that combines both mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. So I look at it as a threefold or three key aspect. I'll start with mental health. My mental health, the way I look at it, is a way in which I decide to be present in the moment, where I slow my thinking down and become very self-aware of what is in the moment. So I have this extraordinary opportunity to extract the truth about what is in the moment. And I am constantly surprised, thrilled, and intrigued by what I observe. So I become the witness of what is. And when I'm present, that is when I've released all the stories from the past. I turn pain into purpose. I turn performance into presence. Life is lighter, easier, simpler. And I get to fall in love with my life. It can be when I'm on a jog in nature and receiving nature's nourishment. And it can be in having a conversation with someone and just feeling their heart connected with my heart. And I know that people hear what I say when I speak from my heart rather than simply my head. So mental health has been a priority for me my entire life because my mom suffered so much with mental health issues. And so she was my teacher. She was my inspiration to find answers. And I've created a incredible method, template, form called Thinking Above the Line that I was inspired by my adopted mother, Emma, who gave me this key. And it's very simple. It's a decision in the moment to be curious, to be open, to wonder what can be, what's possible, what is, and release the fear, the doubt, the blame, the resentment, the regret in the moment. So when it comes to physical health, I love having a strong mind and a strong body. I am very disciplined. I am very consistent with taking action, being accountable, and also intentional with my physical health. So I eat healthy, lots of grains, lots of greens. And the reason I'm so passionate about my physical health is because it gives me so much vitality in life. People are shocked when they see that I'm 67 years old. They can't believe it. And I know it's because of my mental health and my commitment and consistency to my physical health. So I have non-negotiables every morning. I get up at 4:30. The non-negotiables are, I get up, I do my 1-page journal, Dearest God, and I let my soul speak, and I listen, and I write. And then I do a recording every day so I can see who I am, where my mindset is, where my heart set is, where my soul set is, and see if I'm in alignment with my authentic self. And then I get on the floor and do yoga for 20 minutes. I love it. I stretch, I breathe, I connect my mind and my body. And then I do my practice of magnified healing. I'm a certified magnified healer. And then I get in nature. I go on nature's nourishment. I call it a jaunt. It's not a run. A jaunt is between running fast and walking. So I've given myself permission to be gentle with myself. And I go for 5K every day. And I touch trees and thank God for my life and remind myself that it's God's plan, not my plan. I touch flowers and feel their beauty and their grace, and I appreciate them. I run along the water and it just satisfies my soul's desire to be in nature, and I think it nurtures me. And then I come back and get beautified and serve my clients. So the third area is my spiritual health. And this is something that I'm also disciplined, dedicated to. And I look for evidence for my big dreams. I look for clues. I look for music. I look for events that happen within my life and that are in alignment with my big dreams of serving people around the world in ways that are meaningful. I look for inspiration everywhere. And it reminds me of just staying in this lane of joy and gratitude and appreciation for this opportunity to be alive. And I know that love is all there is, and that that's the truth, and that my opportunity is to continually surrendering to that, opening my heart, opening my mind, opening my curiosity to see where it is, what it is, how it's going to show up in my life. So it's a combination of mental health, physical health, and my spiritual, I call it mystic nourishment.
I've never heard of that before, and that is beautiful. I'm going to move you into, so thank you for asking and giving us a deeper insight about your health, because you're not, whenever I talk to business owners about business, that's just one part of who you are. Your ideal clients, they go to you for multiple parts of you, which all encompass business. And I
Yeah.
think it's really important for you to share that as far as your brand, because it always comes back anyway.
Well, and that's what I do. But my clients get nourished by our conversations. They become aligned with who they authentically are by honoring and respecting and loving themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And when that foundation is there, which is for me so inspiring to witness the transformation when people decide that they are going to honor themselves, their lives completely open up to more opportunities, more abundance, more clients, more business, is when they come back home to who they authentically are.
Incredible. I'm going to move you into mastery now. So, cued your mind, got you warmed up, got you flowing. Now we're going to double down on mastery, what you're a master at. So, I want you to truly rave about yourself. I want you to brag about yourself. Tell me the name, even though I know this, but as a director, I have to pull this out of you. Tell me proudly the name of your business, what it is, and who you serve. So name what's the name of your business, who you serve, and what do you uniquely do?
The name of my business is The Inspired Connection. And what I do is I support women leaders, women founders of businesses to come back home to who they are, to release, to free up the places in which they have got lost, where they have made a decision that someone else's agenda, someone else's ideas, commitments have taken over the space of their own. I support women to give themselves permission to experience life in their lane of joy, in waking up every day with this incredible energy of opportunity and interest, curiosity and wonder on what's going to happen today, from a place of trust, faith, calm, grounded confidence, and lots of energy, lots of vitality that is consistent, that lasts the whole day and night. I support them to realize that this is the natural state in which we as women are meant to be mothers, to be leaders, to be contributors to the incredible communities that we serve. And that it's not as hard as you think. It's a commitment, yes. It's going to be uncomfortable, yes. In moments, it's not long though. And the rewards will inspire you to keep going to the next step, and the next step. So the women that I cherish the opportunity to serve have been women who know their calling. They have an understanding of the gift that they have, the opportunity within themselves to make a massive difference in the world, in people's lives. and I lovingly guide them each week, each month, as well as support them to go through my Aim High method and create the lifestyle, the life, and the energy to be who they authentically are, to come back, to return, to circle back to who they are. Because it's not about being someone else or comparison. It's about tapping into the truth and to go from truth to transformation to transmission. And it's a journey, and it is the most inspiring, gracious journey that any woman leader can go on.
Beautiful. And now this is where I double down. I get into the heart center. Out of all the things you could have created in the world, because we work with founders, you created something from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Founders are one of the most unique creatures in the world. Why did you create this?
Well, my clients are me. I am my clients. I know the pain. I know the struggle. I know what it feels like to live a life that is not in alignment with who you are. I know the heartache. I know the exhaustion. I know the frustration. And I know that feeling of having that internal voice of wisdom speaking to you, calling you forward, and not having the courage to do it on your own. Not on my watch. So I know, I just got truth bumps all over. I know that there is extraordinary women founders and leaders in organizations out there that are suffering when they absolutely do not need to suffer any longer. I guarantee it, because I have been through that transformation within my own life, and I've witnessed it within my clients' lives.
Which makes me double down on this next question. There's 3 that I want to ask you, but I'm gonna narrow down to this one. Most founders, because and this is where, when we talk about high level branding, thought leadership, I see the blind spots that you don't see. So you've shared a lot that we're returning back to selves. I'm saving the women founders. There's pieces of that are going to hit, but what specifically do women founders lose that they don't subconsciously recognize they're losing until it's too late? So the word suffering, returning back to home, those are things that they want, but it's almost like if things are being withdrawn from their life and they think everything's still going great, because women founders do hold on to a bigger vision, and there's things that are sacrificing that they absolutely need that they don't even realize rock bottom until they're underneath the rock. So I would love for you to start sharing little subtle shifts that founders go through that you can see there are blind spots. What are some patterns? What are some things to be looking out for? Because no one's calling these out in this space. Everyone's sharing the end result. We're bringing you back to yourself, but we don't even realize what's going on sometimes. And you can see that. So going back to the question, what are some of the blind spots or the levers or the different categories of life that women founders lose without realizing they're losing?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, there's many, and a lot of women are not aware. So they keep pushing through like a machine. They keep pushing, forcing, managing, making things happen. And energetically, that's exhausting. So they're not even aware of how tired they are either, because they become this disciplined, ritualistic doer. So what happens over time is the evidence, because there's always evidence, there's always clues. So what I notice, the evidence is this: you get sick more often. The clues are you're experiencing guilt in your relationships. You lay in bed at night and think, oh, I haven't seen that one friend for so long. I love them. Well, I don't have time right now. They prioritize what doesn't matter in their life or their business. They get busy being busy, and it's not in alignment with what matters most. So there's this internal conflict of frustration when things don't work, and it's an anxiety, it's an anxiousness, because they have dispersed their focus, their attention, and their intention in too many directions, rather than simplifying to secure success. The other thing that happens is their body changes shape. They gain weight. They look at themselves in the mirror and they can see that they're aging. They put more makeup on, trying to put the mask on just to feel better, just to look better. Maybe they just put a little bit more eyeliner on, or a little bit more face makeup to try and, but they know their energy is going down. They know it, but they're not willing to take ownership of that. So they keep pushing forward. And I have one client exactly this way that came onto my doorstep 2 months ago. In 6 weeks, her life has been transformed. She was on Zoom last week with me. I said, look at you. Look at your face. See, our face says everything. It is our mirror. So when you're lighter, when you have faith, when you're clear intentionally, and you follow through with what you say you're going to do to honor yourself, it shows up on your face.
That's the hook. Oh, I want to cry. So good. This is beautiful. These are, and the reason why we strategically ask these are because when the masses are watching this, these are what resonate. They're finding clues. So the next question is, which is the fun question, when they're done working with you, what are some of the results that you've seen? Whatever comes up, just spit fire from your soul. And if we cry on the Zoom. Doesn't matter. This is directing. This is real raw content.
What happens with my clients when they work with me is they fall in love with themselves. They realize that they have the control here. They can take it back. It's not about anything else but honoring who they are. And their business doubles from less effort because they become the magnet of truth within their business and their leadership. See, truth lands, so does energy. So when you come from your heart, your soul, your purpose, and your meaning, people feel it not only in their heart, but they feel it in their body. And you become a magnet. That's what happens within my clients' lives. The other thing that happens that I just love to witness and observe is they come in with this dream that's about this high. One client in particular, I just love it. And then what happens is through our communications and engagement and connection, their vision blows up. It gets wider. The birth of this vision becomes clearer. It becomes potent. It becomes a part of who they are. It becomes a part of their daily disciplines in taking action, accountability, and support. They ask for support when they didn't before. They step up into this ease and grace within the way that they navigate the flow of their days. It's a matter of trusting this flow instead of force. And they have way more fun because it's not hard anymore. And they laugh more and they're silly more. And it ripples into the relationships with their partners, their husbands, their kids, their extended families, their churches, it's a beautiful, beautiful, ripple effect. It's like when you drop that rock into that pond and you watch those ripples, that's what it's like. So not only are they transforming their lives and their business and who they are as a woman, they are transforming their daughters' lives, their sisters, their mothers. All these people get to witness this extraordinary transmutation from the old identity and circling back and returning to come home to who they are, because it's so natural. It doesn't take energy to just be you. It's organic. And you are extraordinary. And you're here for a reason. And it's to be this leader far beyond what your imagination even is at this point in time. So that's what happens. And they're my family. I love them, my clients. Every time I get off Zoom or meeting with a client in person, I go to my car and I always say, thank you, God, for the opportunity to serve from my highest self. And also to be so inspired by the extraordinary women that I have the honor and the opportunity to serve.
You're one of my favorite humans already. And I know we just met, but I can literally connect to your heart like that. Whew. Wow. I have so many questions. This next one, because I want to stay focused on this. What exercise do you have that any human can use to return back to self? And I want you to repeat that question back to me and then give me the answer, because that is an incredible hook.
Okay. So the exercise that I use, that I recommend.
Say that any human can use.
Okay. The exercise, I'll pause again. The exercise that any human can do to come back to center, to come back to who we are, is to be present. And how you do that is you focus on the breath. Focus on breathing in for 4 seconds and then counting 4 out. I do that 4 times. I feel my feet on the ground. It starts inside and then it works out. So if I'm speaking to someone, I just look in their eyes and I listen to what they're saying and not saying, to be present. I release any thought of the past. I sacredly connect with the precise moment that I'm in. And if a thought comes in the future, like making dinner, I release that and come back to center. Because life is relationships. It's a relationship that we have with ourselves. It's the relationship that we have with every other human being. And love is only here in the moment. And that, truthfully, is the only difference we can make. Right here, right now. And that's the truth. Love is all there is. And anything else is just simply a thought, which may or may not be true.
I want to know what has been the lowest point in your life, and how did you use these methods before your business was born to truly recreate yourself, before any of this was born, before you could help anyone go back to the deepest, darkest spot?
Okay, I have many. I'm going to choose one. Okay.
Find one, choose one, and then I want to know, what did you do to pull yourself out of this? Because this is the birth of your business.
Mm-hmm. So, one of the most challenging moments, because things that happen in life happen in moments, is my daughter was very sick. And I had a very successful business. I was keynote speaking, I was corporate training in many different industries. I was doing executive coaching for clients and women that I just loved, and we were changing the whole trajectory of association results, events in their leadership roles. And there's one moment in time that I was lying in bed and I knew it was the end of all that my daughter would not live unless I let all of it go. So I laid in bed, I put my arms out, and I said, okay, God, I know you're asking me to let everything go in my life, to find the doctors, to find the answers, to find the solutions for my daughter. I know it. And I'm scared to bits. I love what I do. How can you take it away? So I paused. I did. I did exactly what I said to do. I became present. I took deep breaths. And I connected with my faith, because I knew that was my strength, was my faith. And I shut everything down in 2 weeks. Canceled keynotes. I was running 4 masterminds with incredible women, and they all understood. And I took a 6-year sabbatical to support my daughter's health. And miracles happen everywhere along the road. The right doctors, the right people. And I just kept going. I just kept going. And my mantra was, I am the mom for this job. Over and over and over again. I was finding answers no matter what, and I did. And the beautiful gift that I received was what I know now, which is the truth. Family matters most. My ego was wrapped around my stardom, my accolades that I'd received from the big events that I would do. And no. So my ego died. My image, my false insecurities, all of those are gone. And I circled back to who I am. And that's what I bring and what I do, because life does throw us curveballs. Life is hard. How do we navigate through it? We bring love to it. We bring the sacred, beautiful, gentle, loving nature to it. And we have to start here. And when we do, we find more space for grace. We find more room for fun. We find new vitality of life and more freedom. And more love to bring every single ounce of everything that we do, all day, every minute, every hour, every day. Because love is all there is.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to move you into trust, because I know you love trust.
I do.
Why do you believe we are in a trust recession, and what does it require of leaders right now? And all these questions, I would like you to briefly restate it back and then drop your gold, because I've curated these specifically for you.
I just have to shut this blind here. Hold on.
Shining so bright, the sun is coming for you.
Okay. Did my dryer stop making noise? Yes, it did. Okay. So repeat the question and let me repeat it back.
Okay. Why do you believe we are in a trust recession, and what does it require of leaders right now?
The reason I believe that we are in a trust recession, and the importance that leaders embrace this as one of the key priorities within themselves and their leadership role that they facilitate as a founder or a leader of an organization. Unless I trust myself, no one is going to trust me. Unless trust is a core aspect in your daily disciplines to follow through with what you commit to, your confidence will be waned. Unless leaders realize that the potency and the ability to impact and influence their teams and the relationships that matter in their life, unless trust is the anchor, you won't have the connection. You won't have the productivity. You won't have the buy-in for your vision, for your mission. See, we as human beings are here to be trusted. And that means integrity in every decision that you make. And it's a profound, freeing discipline when you can create that level of honesty, vulnerability, and truth, because that is what builds self-trust as well as trust within your employees, the communities that you serve. And that's where we get to impact more people's lives and make positive change.
Beautiful. How does speaking from deep truth change the way people receive a message online?
How?
I'll speak it because this is a very deep question.
I know. I know.
How does speaking from deep truth, which you do, change the way people receive a message online?
So what I know is when I'm online and I witness someone speaking deep truth, I not only hear it or see it, I feel it in my body and I feel it in my heart. And the difference is that it lands and it permeates and it gets absorbed, remembered, to bring that positive message and hope to other people's lives.
And why is it so important to speak deep truth? Like, what is your message to other female founders who are leaders, whether it's corporate or their own businesses, just female founders or female leaders in general? They don't always speak from deep truth because they get the slap on the hand that both of you and I know.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the caveat? When you speak from deep truth, what is the power of how you can connect to other people online for themselves and for the other side?
So women that become decided that they are going to show up as who they are, and that is speaking from deep truth. So that is being vulnerable in moments. It is also being exceedingly enthusiastic at other moments and not holding back. It is speaking a level of truth that is revealing, that is honest, that is showing their vulnerabilities, their limitations, their weaknesses, as well as their gifts, their talents, their expertise. And it's owning this beautiful, beautiful opportunity to be human, to be real, to be genuine, to be your authentic self and not pretend anymore, to not perform anymore, to just simply be you.
Beautiful. So what happens when leaders prioritize image over the truth in their business? I
got to control myself on this one. Okay. What happens when leaders prioritize image over being authentic and being who they are? It is like a big red light of insecurity. It is not real. And you know what? People don't care. People don't really care about you being perfect. Now that's the surprising thing. And also it creates distance with the connection. I have had people tell me, well, Carolyn, you have it all together. You are so perfect. You always look beautiful. You always know the right thing to say. And, that is not something that is of value. Being real is of value. Having a perfect image, in whatever form that looks like, creates distance. It doesn't create connection. Plus, if I'm trying to be perfect, I'm putting that pressure on myself. So how can I be present? How can I be in the moment? I'm thinking about, well, how's my hair? Well, I wonder if that, whatever is showing up, whether it be a blemish or, I'm not having a good hair day today. Who cares? Seriously. I have showed up on Zoom, like yesterday. I have to tell this story. I just finished my jaunt for 5K. I was a sweaty mess. I was, honestly. And I didn't get changed. My face was red. No makeup. My hair was soaked and kind of on one side because I sweat. And I showed up on Zoom. And this is what the gentleman said to me. He said, wow, you look beautiful. I said, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it really hit me between the eyes. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up and just being you with all this beauty, grace, elegance, and heart and soul and being present. That's all. The beauty comes from the inside out.
How do you help leaders reconnect to truth after years in corporate environments?
This was me too. My clients are me. I was in corporate for decades. And there's a certain prison when you're in corporate. You may not be aware of it. You're behind bars. So what I always say is, and I love key analogies, the key to open the door, to get out of jail, to be free, is love, of course. And it also includes having a big dream that percolates in your soul, in your heart, and in your mind, that takes over, actually. There'll be a certain place and time that you realize, okay, enough is enough. I am done. This is ridiculous. no, this is not who I am anymore. Oh my God, no, this is the end. Nope, I'm making the decision. That's it. I'm done. And then you make the decision. And then you realize your life begins with courage, commitment, clarity on this beautiful vision. You swim in it. You eat it, you swim in it, and it becomes a part of your cells. And you invest in people that can help you create that beautiful, beautiful business. I think being an entrepreneur is the greatest personal and professional growth journey that any woman can take. I mean, being a mother is a journey, yes. This is up there. I mean, and to be all we can be and all we are meant to be can only happen when we become brave and trust and have faith that this is my path of contribution. Everything that I've learned in corporate, I can channel it. That's what I did. And I fought with my own demons in the beginning too. Yet I thank God that I overcame that, and I have tools for that for my clients too. And this trajectory is consistent. When we decide, we will ask for support. And that's where investing in yourself is truly what makes the big difference.
Wow. Beautiful. I want to move to a quick story. I want you to break down your key.
Ooh.
As if it's the first time you've ever told it to me.
Oh,
So I'm going to ask you,
changed my life.
what's the key on your neck? Tell me about it.
This key.
Oh, since the camera's on your right, hold it with your left.
Okay. So this key represents the greatest learning of my life, the greatest mentorship that I have received, the greatest connection to my calling. Her name was Emma. In my late teens, we would meet. She gave me this key when I was 18 years old. She taught me a simple principle: thinking above the line. It was conceptual at that time, and I would sit across from her at a restaurant. She was in her 80s, and I decided to make her my adopted mother. She didn't know it, but in my mind, that's because I didn't have one. So she was my spiritual mentor. She'd sit across from me and she'd look at me, and I could feel how much she believed in me. I could feel the impact in her energy and intention for me to believe in myself. She believed in me more than I believed in myself at that time. And I was in sales. I soared in sales. I bought my own house at 21. I understood her thinking above the line, which is being present,